Welcome to Heartbeat Africa. My name is Godfrey Gishoke. This program is really designed to empower entrepreneurs, and we'll be sharing with you as we go on different ideas and insights on how to build successful businesses. In this particular program, I'm going to show you 4 reasons why people go into business. I have thought many times to understand why people go into business, because I think the minute you define why you're in business and you understand it clearly, that informs the kind of vision and the kind of commitment you're going to put into your business. So let's look at 4 reasons why people go into business. Reason number 1 why people go into business is they want to put bread on the table. Put bread on the table. Of course, these are varied reasons why you need to go into business. The biggest challenge when you go into business just to put bread on the table, you do not have real commitment. If something happens, if your business doesn't work out, or you experience some challenge, you quit, and that's really is really not enough reason to go into business. Now, the other reason why people go into business is because they want to become rich and famous. So, this kind of entrepreneurs come into business with a lot of energy, with a lot of passion, and they look for the best ideas. They work hard. They build their business, often very rapidly, and they begin to make some money. But unfortunately, because of their deep-seated desire to just become rich and famous, they tend to focus so much on what they can get out of the business. And as soon as they have accumulated some returns and they have some money in their pockets, unfortunately, they go and begin to live some very extreme lifestyles. They buy themselves a sports car, they buy themselves a boat and stuff like that, just to show off. While it's not a bad idea to reward yourself after your hard effort, the challenge is if you're in business just to make it big and very rich, yes, you'll be able to build your business, but as soon as storms come and as soon as things change, and if something goes wrong with your business, then you find yourself stranded. You find yourself that you haven't developed the capacity to run your business in the long term. So if you're going into business just to become rich and famous, you need to ask yourself whether that's really the right reason to be in business, because perhaps you should look for employment. All right, because business requires something bigger than just wanting to become rich and famous. Right, number 3 reason why people go into business is because they want to leave something behind for their children. Leave something behind for their children. While this is a valid reason to go into business, you don't want your kids to be looking for jobs and struggling. So a lot of people go into business because they want to kind of create a stopgap for their children and perhaps be able to hand over something to their children. So the challenge here is that you find that somebody goes to business just to make sure they secure their family and leave something behind for their children. They tend to build small businesses. They tend to build businesses that are within the control of the family. And when opportunities present themselves to grow and expand, they actually they do not have the capacity. They feel they don't want to release their business. There's so much attached to their business because they really are focusing on their children's welfare and the perpetuity of that kind of situation. So it's a very good reason to go into business, but the challenge is that there is a limit how far you can go with that kind of thinking, especially when opportunities to grow present themselves. Right, so and we know a lot of people who are in business, family businesses, and they really can't transition to big time business because they are limited in the way they think why they're in business. All right, so the fourth reason why people go into business is because they want to change the world. Change the world. I think this is the most exciting reason why people should go into business. You want to go into business and make a difference. You want to go into business and change the world. So this kind of thinking allows you to have a great vision. You are not thinking about only your country, you're thinking globally. In this day and age where, business has become global in nature, if you're going to be very successful and be successful in the long term, you must think how to change the world. You must think about how building products or services or whatever it is that you're doing and really just make a contribution in the world. And that way, this allows you to think big. This allows you to bring in other people into your business. You're not afraid to try out new things. You're not afraid to bring in partners. And of course, when your business grows, you want to run together with the innovations, with the new ideas, because you want to be a big player, you want to be able to change the world. And of course, there are many examples of this. Steve Jobs, when they built Apple computing, they went into it big time. They really were so passionate about how they wanted to change the world. They wanted to change the world of computing. These are the guys who introduced graphics designs, graphic interfaces in the computing world, way before the other guys had done it. And they really went into it with a lot of passion, with a lot of energy, and they did it well, and that's how they were able to become some of the biggest company. And today, Apple is the world biggest company because these guys built that culture, that way of thinking, that they are in it for the long haul, for the big transformation. And so, if you're starting out into business today, think in terms of, think long term. Think, how can I change the world? How can I make a difference? And even if you're starting small, because we all have to start small, always have that big mindset, big thinking, and that will make a lot of difference. So my friend, if you're going to business, don't just go into it to put bread on the table, because that you can do. You can do that with a job. So, like I said, the challenge is that if you meet an obstacle, you will often find it very easy to quit. Now, if you go into it to become rich and famous, as soon as you make money, then you lose the passion. And that then you become not very successful after all, which is what you wanted. Now, when you go into business because you want to leave something, secure something for your family, then you find that your business may never grow beyond your family. And that becomes a limiting factor. I encourage you to go into business with a desire to change the world. And if you do that, ideas will begin to flow. You will find right people to work with, and at the end of the day, you will become successful. I promise you, you become successful. So go into the world and change the world. Thank you very much.